go ahead.
From writing English papers to doing complex math, AI is starting to become, we see it everywhere. The topic of AI has been talked about for many years and especially is prevalent now. The U of M has many articles written about AI and I use 6 of them to give me credibility. AI is on track to becoming part of our everyday lives, from our school lives to our work lives, so it's important for us to know about it. So before we talk about like where AI is going to be used, we have to kind of understand how it works. So I learned about how AI works from the article How AI Agents Work from Marie and Lucas. So he breaks the process down into 5 steps. The first one is perception. So the AI kind of just processes like what kind of requests you put in. The second one is reasoning and planning. The AI thinks of like possible answers to your request. Decision making, the AI chooses which response is fit best. And then execution and feedback loop is when you get a response and the AI puts it to its memory. This 5-step process is used in complex AI agents, but there's also other types of AI agents, like active agents, which are more like customer service bots, which don't hold any memory. Now that we know about how AI works, we can talk about how it's used in the workplace. We all have jobs, or will have jobs shortly, so it's important for us to know about how it will be used. So even though AI can be super helpful in the workplace environment, we have to think about its effects, the effects it has on employees. Trust the machine or trust yourself, how AI usage reshapes employee self-efficiency and willingness. An article by Han Z. Young explains that if employees interact with AI, it could change how they work. And this is kind of just, he uses just the theory of whenever anyone interacts with anything, it can just kind of change them. He says the widespread implementation of AI technology not only transforms environmental factors such as organizational behavior, work design, and workflows, but also generates complex influences on individuals. So an example of this is like when someone uses AI, it kind of makes them change like their decision making, and then also like as people use it, just like anything, they become more reliant on it. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when we're talking about integrating AI into the workplace, these are things that should be considered. The article, What Competencies Will Be Needed to Manage AI in the Workplace, an AI Perspective, by Morben, and also the article, What Competencies Will Be Needed to Manage AI in the Workplace, Human Perspective by Wright Stewart. These kind of explain some things that we should look out for and use and should be considered. The big one that they talk about is technical literacy. This means that like employees and employers, if they're using AI like in work, they should understand what it is and how it works, because that's really important to using it like ethically. There's a bunch of like other ethical competencies that should be used too. So that's the first article. The second article talks about how, since we haven't really used it for a very long time yet, we're not super sure of the risks that it could cause or the downsides. But we know that AI agents in the workplace need to be super accurate, which they aren't yet. They're not at that point where they're like always accurate, and they need to be unbiased, which is also, they're not quite at that point yet. So that's super important. So some general like uses of AI in the workplace would be like scheduling data. So an employee would be able to just say what days they need off, and then an AI would kind of handle scheduling so they could get it from everyone. Data entry, so kind of like with jobs like where you're just entering stuff, it could do that manual. And then just, they talk about just digital assistant chatbots. So if you need help with anything, So AI in school could have many uses. Some that we talk about is personalizing learning. So like if you need help specifically on something, AI can kind of help you learn more specific. If you have like specific questions, you can learn about that. And then also going along with that, like it has immediate feedback. So sometimes if you have a question on like a math worksheet, you can email your teacher, but AI would be used just to get like that immediate answers. And then it also can be used to break down complex concepts. Those are just some of many solutions, and also many students are already using AI kind of in that way, like ChatGPT. About like on my Google form, about like half people said they use AI, just either for school or just in general. So that covers kind of uses in students. There's also this article. It says the promise and challenges of generative AI in education. It's set and it asks. Basically, the article is asking two questions. It's what are the opportunities, challenges, and implications related to generative AI and technologies in the context of learning and education? And also, what are the most important lessons and topics related to generative AI technologies in the context of learning and education? So the article kind of just asks these questions, and they're hoping to like be able to answer them. So my third part is teachers. Teachers are a huge part of like AI becoming integrated into schools. The article, General and Special Education Teachers, Readiness for Artificial Intelligence in Classrooms by Rashida and Gazelle, has some data on how different teacher demographics respond to AI. It showed that female versus male teachers have a better, they respond more positively to it, and also more teachers with more experience respond more positively to it. So in conclusion, there are many different things to be considered and understood about AI in the workplace and school, and I hope I informed you about this topic. So the more we understand about AI, the easier it will be to work with it in the future. Thank you for listening.